second chance in the game.
Guys, how you doing? My name is Terrance Banks. I am now the head football coach at Tri-Cities High School. This presentation is on game-tested RPOs in our spread offense. Guys, again, I thank you and welcome. We're going to talk about game-tested RPOs and how we use them in our spread offense. The reason why we named this game-tested is simply that these will be RPOs that we have used for the past 6 years as my tenure as head coach at Newton High School that we know work. Guys, if you have any additional questions, need me, want to know more about me, here is my contact information. I give out my cell phone like everybody else in America. Texts are always the easiest way to get a hold of me. But if you feel the need to give me a call, do so. If I don't answer, leave a message. I will get back to you at my earliest convenience. You can always email me. My email address is tdotbanks@gmail.com. And probably the easiest place to access me to find out information and talk to me is on Twitter, where I am tbanks1906. Again, cell phone, email, Twitter. Twitter is always the easiest. Email second best, and then cell phone. My background, for the past 6 years, I was head football coach at Newton High School, a 7A school, highest classification in Covington, Georgia. We went 38, 28, and 1 during our time at Newton High School. We were able to win. We won the first region championship in 25 years, a few years ago. We also won the first state playoff game in non-region format. So instead of Georgia, used to have to win a region playoff game to get to the state playoffs. Now we go straight to the playoffs. We were the first program in my tenure to be able to do that. We've made playoffs all 6 years I was here, and we even produced a Army All-American. So that is my background. RPO philosophy. What is our run pass option philosophy? And we'll even speak about our philosophy on pass options. We want to put our players in the best possible position to win each play. We're a spread team, but we love the triple option philosophy. Have multiple options for our kids to get the ball and put them in the best position each play. We're going to take what the defense gives us. I'm a mathematics teacher by trade, so I tell people that all the time. To me, the spread offense is simple math, as you've always heard. 5 runs, 6, you got an option, 7, you need to pass. We've built 3 plays into 1, so no matter what adjustment the defense makes, we will still be successful in the play. And now, of course, I'll talk about man coverage, which has been one of the things that teams have done to try to stop our RPO game by covering up all our receivers and putting 6 in the box. We want to protect our run game with the run pass option. What I want people to know is the most important thing in RPO is the run part. We want to run the ball. It is the best thing to do to us in football. How do we protect our run? By giving our quarterback options that will help us lighten the box so that we can do that. You may not have a running quarterback. If you have a running quarterback, then that's great. You can do other things, but every team is not blessed with a quarterback who can run. So we have to supply him with options in our offense. Even up 6-man boxes to get 5-on-5 blocking. You have to have a way to deal with the 6th defender. If you got a running quarterback, that may be with multiple reads, zone read, counter read, jet reads, power reads, anything of that nature. When you don't have a running quarterback, teams know that. You have to have a way to even up the box. So we do that by using our RPOs to account for that 6th defender. We want to make it easy for the quarterback. Most of the time, our quarterback has a pre-snap rule, a gift to the pre-snap, which lets him know, hey, if I see edge pressure or if I have an alley open, I'm going to take it. And then he has a post-snap option where we're able to read one of those defenders, 2nd and even 3rd level on those RPOs. And we have built-in rules for each play. I want to walk you through a few of those here. If you have a mobile quarterback or a quarterback that is slightly decent at running, our favorite, my most game-tested RPO, probably the one I've been running for the past 8 years and had the most success, is our stick draw play. We love it as seen here from empty formation. what that does for a mobile quarterback. So if you see to our two receiver side, we have the fade out smash concept, to which is one option for the quarterback, which is more of a pre-snap look. Then of course his post-snap look, which is the stick option of it. Our line will block zone. So when you talk about it's not zone, stick, the draw concept, the draw concept. When you have a 4-man front, what we look to do is we look to fold on that one technique. If you have two twos, you can decide game planning or to your center strength. But if we get a one technique in that 4-man front, then we're going to fold on that one. If any of you guys get that 33 look with the 2-3 techniques, then we're simply going to allow all of them to pass set and get our center on the guy that we're not reading. If we have a 3-4, we'll talk about that. To a 3-4, we prefer to fold our tackles and kick out with our ends. And then our center will take the nose in any direction he wants to go in. Let the guy go in the best direction and run him upfield. So we're going to read that 6 linebacker. That's the first linebacker that has run and pass responsibilities in the box, as you can see from my diagram here. In this diagram, that would be the Sam backer. What are our rules? So we have the gift or the pre-snap read. The gift read is taking what the defense is giving us. Our rules. So if the number 2 receiver weak is uncovered and our safety is above the hard deck, we will receive the snap and throw the fade out. So a couple of things I want to talk about. What is the hard deck to us? The hard deck is this imaginary border that is 7 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. So if we have a safety above the hard deck, our number 2 receiver is not covered, then we're going to go ahead and read the fade out smash combo. How can you teach your quarterback to determine what the hard deck in the game? That umpire that sits right behind those linebackers places himself at 7 yards. He tells you pre-snap what the hard deck is. If you have safeties behind him, then they are above the hard deck. If the safeties are even or below him, then they are underneath the hard deck. So on the time we're going to really run that fade out combo is if we come up pre-snap and we know we got a 2-on-1 situation with a linebacker tucked in the box and our safety beyond the hard deck. Then we know we have either a cover 2 or a cover 4 type read. Or if it's man, it's very soft man. Post-snap, we must find the conflict linebacker. The conflict linebacker is the first linebacker in the box that can play both the run and the pass. So whatever your read is, so if my quarterback is looking to the right, that first linebacker in the box that has dual responsibility of playing the run and the pass, he is our conflict linebacker. When we run our stick draw for our run read, our quarterback's going to get the ball. He's going to show the stick route first. If that linebacker takes 2 steps up or if he sits back, then we're going to go ahead and throw that stick route to our number 3 guy. If that Sam linebacker backs up or that nickel backer backs up to play the stick, in the first 2 steps, then our quarterback, if he's the runner, he's going to execute that draw concept. If we had a running back in the backfield, he would then hand off the draw. So my favorite way to run it is, of course, from empty, getting as many empty variations as you can. I go ahead and say that if you have a quarterback that's a decent runner, and this is a great check with me play, this is a great one-word concept as well. So that's how we do our stick draw read. Coaching points, again, backside has a vertical route. Number 2 has a speed out. Our play side number 1 has a vertical route. He wants to take the top off. Our number 3, his spacing is alignment. Crucial to make the conflict linebacker have a tough read. Primarily for us in our formations, naturally we have our wide receiver who is our tight end inside receiver line up on the hash. However, you want to make sure that you're lining up based on spacing. If the ball is on the hash, you're going to be 1 to 2 yards inside the hash. If you're using NFHS rules, if you're one of those guys that use NCAA splits, hash marks, you're going to make sure you line in a lot closer. But you want to make that linebacker, that conflict linebacker, have to pick which one he's going to be. And if he's too far out, it can be a blurry read. So put him in enough conflict with spacing. And then our number 2 receiver is going to run that 5-yard speed out so that we're able to read him in the concept. The second RPO is more of a PPO that we want to go over because I said I was going to give you something to take care of man coverage. Well, for us, we use the stick route more than anything. So our second RPO, which is more of a PPO that you can use to conflict teams that want to play man, is what we call our running back screen with our stick concept. So on one side, on the front side, we're going to have that stick concept that you've been running, same responsibilities and reads, and then the quarterback will run the screen to the back side of that. Now, however you block your screen is up to you. I'm going to show you how we do it. I know teams do different things. For us, I like to have that tackle pass set, and we're going to get out our center and guard. So whatever rules you use on that, if you like to have your tackle go, then that's fine. We found it best, and we've done it both ways. We found it best for us to have our tackle pass set. And our guard, he then goes to what we call the sidewalk. He's trying to get all the way out to the numbers. And then our center, he's going to make sure he get up into the alley. Our guard and tackle play side on this will still do their pass responsibilities. What we've also found best for us is to have our single receiver, if we're running it to the single receiver side, come in like he's running the slant, but he's really looking to crack that weak side backer. And if it's man coverage, it's fantastic because he's going to bring that cornerback with him. So you're looking to get two for the price of one. So align your running back for success. So what I mean by this is this: do different things. There's some plays where we will align the running back to the weak side. There's some plays where we will align the running back to the strength and then have him come back across the quarterback to execute the screenplay. The post-snap rule is the same. Find the conflict linebacker. Once you find the conflict linebacker, our quarterback is going to get up. He's going to show stick. He wants to throw that hitch. If that linebacker gets back on that hitch, then he's then going to get his 2 steps back, reset, and then be ready to throw the screen. So when our quarterback comes out, he's going to read first 2 steps linebacker. If the linebacker does not get out, we're going to take that stick, easy completion. If that linebacker flies back out, he's then going to reset and be ready to throw the screen. So if the linebacker turns to wall number 3, let's get ready to throw the screen. A lot of guys go back and forth. One of our best, most productive RPOs is what we call our pin and pull. And there's so many variations and things to do. We love our pin and pull. The manipulation we use off that is primarily the Y pop pass. And so I'm going to show you how we can run this against several things. So pin and pull was a great play for us. If you're running outside zone and you don't want to add buck sweep, you would definitely love this RPO. And this will help you get an outside zone look as well. So for us, when we run our pin and pull diagram, we prefer to run it. So teams that run outside zone, teams that major in inside zone like us, if a team is going to put a 4-man front, if they're going to put their 3 technique to your running back, you really want this play. So if we get a 3 technique to our running back side, we're going to block out on the 3 and on the 5. Easy money. We're going to fold that 1 technique. We're going to fold that 1 technique and have our center get up on that wheel backer. Our tackle is trying to reach the end. If he doesn't reach him, he's just going to push him out. Our running back will read that for the cut. If he can hook him, that's even better. Then we're going to read that Mike linebacker coming off with the pop pass. Our number 2 receiver will run a bubble. I love bubble, so on this, his pre-snap read ends up being that bubble. Okay, so if he comes up and we get somebody inside that Y for the pop pass or line head up and there's nobody on the bubble, quarterback can always take it and get the bubble first pre-snap. I always take what we call the gift. If somebody's lined up out there and we got space, then we're going to go ahead and read that Mike linebacker. He steps up, we'll be ready for the pop pass. When teams go cover 3, the best adjustment we've used off of this, which is why I love this play. When teams go cover 3, they go 1 high. If they try to cover up your Y, which is our tight end, and here the diagram, our A, which is our slot, we're going to use our rub route. So now instead of our Y running the pop pass, he's going to get straight vertical. He's going to go vertical right now. Our A receiver will then come right off his butt like he's running the diagonal route. Coach, it's not really a slant. Basically, it's exactly what I said is a diagonal route. He's going to let the Y go. His aiming point is 4 yards right off the Y's butt. If they're in cover 3, what usually happens is you're going to get that outside linebacker who's going to want to wall vertical, right? That's what they do. They want to wall the vertical, lay hands on him. That's perfect. He turns his back. Our A comes right off the Y's butt. The other nickel can't get over top. And then we've got the same read. The running rules are still the same. We're going to fold the one technique. So once we fold that one technique, we read it. If that Mike linebacker steps up, we're ready to go with that pass. If he stays back, then we're just going to hand the ball off. So that's the first thing we do when we get people trying to cover 3 over top, or if we get a 1 high safety. So the gift read, take what the defense is giving us. So for us, we want to throw that bubble. If number 2 is uncovered, we're going to throw that bubble. We're going to do that all night because we're trying to get that Sam to expand outside of him. So what we really want is we want to have a Mike, RY, and a Sam backer. That's perfect for us to be able to run our pop pass. So in regular alignment, 2 high, some stubble formations, teams now going to that 4-2-5. They run that stubble where they go ahead and pull the guy over and then put that weak side safety right in the middle of the field. Great. Perfect. I'm glad you're doing it. So we still get that same read. That's the gift read for us. Post snap, we're going to find that conflict linebacker, that first linebacker in the box who can play both. We're going to stick it out here. Our quarterback's going to stick it out. We're going to take 2 steps to run that read. If that Mike linebacker steps up, then we're going to be ready to pull for our pop pass. If he stays back, we're going to hand off on the outside zone. So that's how we run our our pin and pull, read when we're going to read that. So what I want to do is go through more of the blocking schemes, okay? If you get the 3 technique away, how does that change it? We're still always going to fold the 1 technique. So you do have to go through this. So you tell the center if the 1 technique is inside of him and the player's going away, he's going to block back on the 1 and we're going to fold the guard. So if you get the teams who are putting the 1 technique to your running back side, then the center now will block back and you'll fold with that guard. If the 3 technique is away and the 1 technique is here, then you'll block back and fold with him. So what do you do when the 3 technique is away? You're going to run outside zone with your left. So this play is going to the left right now. So our left tackle and left guard are going to execute outside zone. We're going to fold that 1 technique, and we're always going to lock in on that 5. And now here this is coming up for the wheel, and we're still going to read that Mike. What is our adjustment for a 3-man front? So it can appear that this is similar to buck sweep, but not quite the same. The first guard is going to pull, and he's really pulling for that outside linebacker. The second guard, all right, however you teach it. If you teach a skip pull, it's perfect. If not, you can work on it. He's just really looking to get right underneath that center and reinsert back into play. You're still reading that Mike linebacker. So those are the 3 variations that we're going to use it against and how we're going to use it. I love it when there's a 3 technique to our running back, easiest way to block it. It's still a good play when the 3 technique is away, but now we're going to fold the 1, so we have to work on that. If we get that 3-4 look, still a fantastic play. The first linebacker, the first guard pulling is looking for the outside linebacker. He's trying to get his ass right now on that outside linebacker. Our tackle is still trying to reach. If he turns out, that's fine. We'll end up dealing with that. That second guard that pulls now because he's uncovered, he's looking to get right behind that center and get right to that wheel inside linebacker. The center, again, is left one-on-one with the nose. The third game tested RPO. If you know, I love zone stick. As you can see here, I'm really heavy into the stick concept. Zone stick was one of the first RPOs to be used really in the spread game at the collegiate level, but teams are catching on to it. So you have to have multiple variations. This is one variation over the past 3 years that has been most successful to us. In my next presentation, my other presentation, when I talk about our zone key game, this goes hand in hand with it. So we faced a lot of 3-man fronts. I myself, in our defense, we had been a 3-man front as well. So we had to come up with ways to deal with a 3-4, especially with that quarters type coverage. So one of our best ways to run the zone read is to line up in 2x2. All right. So we want to run this zone stick. We line up in 2x2. We're going to send that slide in motion because now we want to see what teams do. Do they rock and roll? Does that linebacker step up? Does he try to get out? And so we'll send that guy in motion and we'll run that bubble. And we'll try to block it and throw that screen out there to the guy going in motion. When teams start trying to rock and roll and get outside to stop that backer, then we come back with our zone stick concept. So once teams, if you look in the diagram, start putting their Sam outside and having their strong safety, a rover, a line over, or Y, we're going to go ahead and come back with our zone stick. We're going to send the slide in motion again. If the Sam takes them, then we know we're going to read our Mike linebacker. So how do we block zone? Okay, against a 3-4 front. For us, that's more of a push call. So what that means is this. We're kind of pushing a man over almost like fan. Our tackle is going to punch with the end, but he got his eye on that outside backer the way we're going to on our zone. That guard knows that he has to be ready to push towards that end. Then our backside center and guard are going to get a good combo block. Our guard is looking to take over the nose because our center has eyes on that inside backer. The backside inside backer is our conflict player. That's who we're reading. And, of course, our tackle stays on the end. So our rules is that pre-snap, take what the defense is giving us. We're going to send the guy in motion. If number 2 is uncovered, we're always going to reach up and throw that bubble. Always take the free yards. So we send him in motion. The Sam is tucked inside the Y. The strong safety is not jockey down. Bam, we got numbers. We're going to throw it out there. If for some reason they have somebody over, the Sam is outside and we send him in motion, and they try to jockey, then we can't go to it. We got to go through our read. Our read is simple. We're going to put the ball out there for the zone. If the Mike linebacker comes up, then we're going to disconnect and be ready to throw the hitch. If he stays still or backs up, we're going to hand the ball off. So one point I want to make on this, we want to run the ball. If that Mike linebacker does anything besides run up, if he stays still or gets back, we're going to hand the ball off. If he steps up, then and only then will we throw. We want to run the ball. So if the Mike linebacker is still, I teach my quarterback to hand off the ball. I take one-on-one. Always take one-on-one. So that's what we'll do when we're going through the play. So again, before you finishing up here, send him in motion. The bubble is our gift. If not, then we're going to be able to read it. We want to run the ball, so if that guy, once again, does anything besides step up, we want to hand that ball off. And then you already talked about our coaching rules on it: stick, bubble, backside. If you got a good receiver backside and that guy's not a problem, you can always tag him as an option route. So let's watch some game film on a lot of this stuff here. All right, so the first thing we're going to show you here is a couple of the PPOs, which is our zone stick, our zone screen combo. Here we're lined up in 2x2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to send motion. We send our running back in motion, and our quarterback looks. As you can see here, this linebacker has walled off our stick route, so that's not going to be open. Quarterback then gets back. As I told you, we changed it up. This year, we were sending our tackle and guard downfield. We gave it the completion, and our running back found space. Here it goes again. All right, here we line up in a 3x1. Now, as you can see here, a little hard to see right now, this linebacker is right here on our Y. So we are not going to be able to throw the stick. Our quarterback then retreats, throws the screen. And on this, we were still releasing the tackle. Here we got a big yard. All right, here's the inside and the end zone shot. We got an end zone shot on a few of these. He's walled off. Quarterback can't get there. Here we do release the tackle. Our quarterback then retreats and throws the screen. Later on, same game, this team showed a lot of man over coverages. Once again, this linebacker has walled off our tight end, wide receiver. Quarterback gets back, and he throws the screen. And we're able to get a big gain. As you can see, the hesitation that he had on this is one of the reasons why we went back to having the tackle block. Tackle doesn't block the end, and he had the double clutch, and that did present us some problems later on down the line. There goes the inside view. Then, of course, supposed to be sidewalk and alley that the guys are finding. You can see our tackle pointing to the guard to get to the alley, which is the hash. All right. Third time that game, we ran it. Got a big guy in tackle, missed the block there. But our running back had a nice 25-yard gain. He flips his hip, the wide was covered, and then we're off to the races again. He goes to inside view, end zone view. He couldn't throw it. Now he execute the screen. You can see here the sidewalk and then the alley by tackle and guard. I'll show it to you again, so make sure you can look at the tackle and the guard. So we're on the hash. So our guard is following this guy, which is the sidewalk guy. There was nobody for our tackle to kick out, so he gets upfield. We sent this guy in motion. This is a younger quarterback when he was a sophomore. We love this play. Now, he should be throwing the stick. As you can see, the stick is open. So, yes, he should be throwing the stick. As you can see here, we're getting a pressure look. It's man-type coverage. We got two guys going out here to the motion. And so he should be throwing the stick route. Nonetheless, he's able to get the screen. We get two guys on the side, one guy up the alley, and then we get a big 49-yard gain. Tackle again with the double team. The guard is up the alley, and we get a big 49-yard gain on this play. All right, so let's talk some about our what we call the stick draw concept, one of my favorite plays here. Here, this team here had been a three-man front, so we tried to move our running back out. Quarterback's gonna receive the snap. They're covering our wide receiver, so he has to execute the draw. And on this play, he was able to get outside of the pocket. The draw doesn't have to be pretty. Of course, we want him to get up the middle, but if you look at it here, we end up getting a 4-1 box. So everybody is blocked and accounted for. So he's able to find room and get outside when that end came inside. Show you the tight copy. You're going to see this end come inside, which is why the quarterback was able to get outside. The motion, as you can see from the shadow, got the wheel outside the box. Nice 10-yard run play for us. And then the end zone copy of this one. All right, here's one of the ones where we're able to get the throw out. We throw it to a Y. They made a great tackle. He was quarterback, thought he could fit it in there. He was a little bit covered, but you see for the end zone copy, he thought he could fit it in there. All right, here we go again. Another version of it. We're already in empty. We want to look at our wide receiver, which is covered. He's walled off, and so our quarterback gets right up the middle for a 9-yard gain. This is my crutch play, guys. If I ever get stuck on the play call, I just go ahead and signal this in. This is a one-word call for us. See here, the quarterback looks at it, and we're able to get 2 of our linemen downfield in the 9-yard game. You see here with the 3-man front, they decided this game we did not fold them because we felt like the linebackers got straight out, so we pass set. Center took the nose wherever he wanted to go, and then our guards got straight downfield. All right, here we go. Here we're playing a 3-4 team that is giving us a cover 0 look. So what we tried to do, this you see this film is kind of grainy, so this is about 6 years old probably. We tried to be a little smart. We changed it to where both of these guys ran a hitch because we thought we could get the ball out of our hands fast. And the quarterback did because we knew they were in 0 coverage. So that's one of the tricks you learn. That's why I say game tested, because my experience 2 years prior to running this, we were able to do the same thing versus a 3-man front team. And so this team was better than us, and they gave us that pretty much pressure look, 0 look, and we were able to go with 2 hitches. We got a pressure look here again, 0. All right, playoff game. As you see, the hitch is covered, but the number 6 guy is getting out the box, which means it is 5-on-5. And we get a nice 12-yard run. So to you again, this team shows pressure, gets out the box, gives it to us. It was then 5-on-5, and our quarterback is able to get a good, nice game. All right, here we go. Probably the first game for me as a head coach here at Newton High School when I got here. I don't know why my center let go of the nose, and so the quarterback had no choice but to take off. So I wanted to show you some of them early clips to see how long we've been running it. As I said, this is my crutch play. Been running stick, draw, probably for the last 8 years, and I still love it, especially if you have a mobile quarterback. It's money. Even if he's not mobile, he can get some yards. And you're seeing 2 different quarterbacks here, which shows you how long we've been running it. Here again, stick draw again, same play for empty. The quarterback should be getting ready to throw the stick route. He keeps it though, and he runs, and we're able to get a 16-yard gain. Show it to you again. Here, we're looking for what he should be throwing, which is the Florida concept, and we're able to get a 16-yard gain. He should be throwing this, by the way. If you watch again that conflict linebacker, which is this guy, he bounced twice, so he should have thrown the ball. All right, this time he takes the first 2 initial steps up. Our quarterback decides to throw it. Yes, I'm with you. I know somebody's going to say, Coach, I saw that lineman get downfield. See here the 3-4. If you look at it, 3-4, I told you what we do. We primarily fold those guys. And I had a nice young tackle who was quick. So on the fold, he's downfield. Quarterback got the ball out of his hands fast. Oops, I'm sorry here. Let's go back. There we go on film. All right, here's the end zone view of that. As you can see here, 3-man box, so we're gonna fold. Our guard didn't fold, but on the left side, we did on the right. But we get the ball out of our hand quickly. Then our wide's able to cut it in for a 15-yard gain. Here we go against a 4-man front team. Got the 4-1 box we're looking for. Going to read the conflict player. He leaves on the bubble. And we ran it from a different look from trust. Before, you had see us have the Y as the number 3. Here we have the Y as the number 2. As I said, get in multiple formations. And for us, we got about 4 or 5 different empty formations that we like to use. The quarterback should be throwing the ball. Had a very good quarterback. This kid ended up being All-State this year, and he liked to run the ball. So, I mean, we get 21 yards, so guess I can't be too mad. But, of course, like you just saw, he should have thrown the ball on the read because we were able to force this conflict player to get out the box. And he should be throwing the ball to his wide receiver. Let's watch it again from the end zone copy. That guy is running out the box, so the quarterback should be throwing the ball. If he throws the ball here instead of running it, we probably catch this slant and we get the cut up field. Our quarterback decided to run it, then he had to make some moves and he gets tackled from behind eventually. Here's another earlier way we ran it. They had a blitz come up the middle. He could have threw the bubble. Quarterback was able to take off though because of timing, and he gets us a nice 22-yard gain. So if you have an athlete at quarterback, those are the things that can happen. He can be an athlete and make plays for you even when your calls don't get you in the best position. Here is in our first state playoff game when we were the home team. Here we get a perfect 4-1 box playoffs, first year. Perfect 4-1 box. You see that soundbacker back up to take away our hitch. You see this free safety getting back. The only person that stands in our way here is this Mike linebacker. We get up on him, even in the mud on our field. Had been raining all week. We get a nice 55-yard gain on a 3rd and 4 call. Show it to you again. We fold, and our guard comes and gets that Mike linebacker, and we're able to get a 55-yard run. On this one, same thing happens. Quarterback gets upfield. He's able to get a nice 23-yard rip. All right, ran this play several times that playoff game. Here's another clip. 1st and 10, just got the ball. They give us that 4-1 box. Again, we're able to get our lineman up on that center. And then we're able to get a nice 77-yard gain from the quarterback by calling the Florida draw concept. Get to you again. We're able to get it empty, which entices a 4-1 box. So when we talk about hard deck, this guy here is at 7 yards. That guy's inside, so we did a little bubble action because we knew how they would play it. He got straight on the bubble instead of running that 5-yard out, which helped us out in bringing our quarterback for a big gain. All right, and that is it on that stick run. So I want to show you guys then. Clips of the pin and pull play. All right, so we get to our pin and pull here. This version is going to be the one, I can tell you on this play. We're going to do it here. We stack them. So because we're stacking them, we get that cover 3 look. What I tell you was going to happen. Our wide was going to run straight downfield, and our slot receiver was going to come right off of them. Here in this game against this 3-4 team, we had an opposite tag. So opposite means that we were going to run the ball into the way sometimes that the RPO was happening. Still the same read. Here we see this linebacker closing up on the run. He's the first conflict linebacker in there, and we threw the ball and got a big yard gain. Show it to you again here. Opposite call happening. So them guys get the opposite call. They get the stack. They're waiting for the call. So he stacks, First linebacker, conflict linebacker, is this linebacker right here. Maybe throw it in that crease. Then we get a big gain. All right, the following year we come back to it. As you can see, we talked about the coverages. They're pretty much playing us with 7 guys in the box. We call the A sharp because of this coverage right here, how they're playing trips. A is the way we tell him that he's not involved in coming off, and then our Y will go straight downfield. Free safety sees run first, and we're able to throw the ball in there, pick up a quick, easy 12 yards. He will run downfield and hold this defender, and meaning that this free safety that is about 15 yards deep has to be the one to react to the second pass. All right, again, you can tell here, we still get 7 in the box. So this is pretty much a man-type coverage situation again. There are 3 defenders out here. So we're going to try to run this slant and send him deep to make this guy have to hesitate for a second so we can be able to throw the ball. Just enough time for us to get the completion. Then he's able to make some extra yards for us. Just enough time off this rub route for us to be able to make the completion. And that's all it takes. So anytime you get the 3 covering up 1, that is definitely an adjustment that you need to be ready to make. All right, we go back to a playoff game here. This defense gave us multiple looks, so we knew that after we did a check with me, that they were then going to shift into the coverage they wanted to be in. They go too high, but they're putting this guy over the Y. So we sent him deep, brought him right in, right off of him. And we were able to get a 17-yard completion. Again, they showed us one look. When we did the check with me, they rotated into the look they wanted to be in. But through film study, we knew their reaction to it, so we were okay with it. And there we go, bringing that guy right off his butt. Guys, there's so many ways you can run this. So for example, that team that we showed you earlier, they're giving us a 7-man box. Now we're gonna run it back to the single receiver because they were playing man coverage. And they're giving us a lot of grass there. They got in our face pretty fast, so our quarterback was not able to get rid of the ball. But they're giving us a lot of grass there with our receiver. All right, here we go, regular. And I love running this play into the boundary. I think anytime with any outside zone, if you're a spread team, that's a coaching point I give you. I love running stretch to the boundary. I'm a big boundary guy anyway. So here we get the play call. We got the too high look we were looking for at first, so we can run this pop pass. And then we're able to get outside. The running back has to get outside, only gets a 13-yard gain. Here it goes again. 3-4 look. Both of those guys, they're kind of telling it right here or getting ready to pull. Love the spacing of our Y. This is our conflict player here. You see both of them pull. Quarterback pulls the ball, and we're able to hit that Y for a 18-yard gain. 3-4 team, so we're going to pull both of those guys. And then we get an 18-yard gain. I always talk about variations here. If you have an H-back, perfect way to do it with an H-back. We're going to send our H-back in motion. 3-man front, double pull, right over the middle, 20-yard gain to our H-back. Remember, the pre-snap rule is the bubble, which is covered by alignment. Send our H-back over in motion. Gonna read this guy. He steps up, flips the pass right to him. Third down call. They show us man. Remember here we made an opposite call. You heard me talk about that. Well, we will sometimes run the play into the reading that conflict linebacker right there, who definitely steps up. And we ran the A version because they were over us. The guy drops the ball. So they got 3 over 2. So we've got to run what we call the A shark, which is him coming off his butt and sending him deep. The only chance we got. We're going to flash it inside, so we're going to read this backer. He's the first conflict backer. He definitely rushed. Quarterback's quick. He drops it, falls into his hands. But I want you to see how open he was more so than the catch, fumble, etc. Back later on that game, it's a 3-14. They tried to slide the alignment, so you can make your own call here. Our guy stayed with the double G. Block out. We get outside with our running back. Great block by the wide receiver. 54 yards later, we're in the end zone. All right, guys. Well, hey, those are the game-tested RPOs here from this one. We got one more to show you, which is that zone stick concept. All right, guys, so final thing I want to show you, which is our zone stick. I'm going to show you some good and bad clips on this. As you can see here, we're going to send him in motion. They're bumping. The quarterback runs the ball. If you look at the stick concept, he should have been ready to put the throw, but we get a 3-yard gain. Show you two again from the other way. So here, this guy's coming off the edge, but he bumps out the box. Quarterback should be ready to pull it. He hands it off, and we didn't block it well enough front. Only got a 3-yard gain. We'll show you the end zone view here. Mr. Block got a 3-yard gain. Here we are again against this team. Send them in motion, 4-2 box. Everybody comes. The quarterback is going to pull. And we're able to hit the receiver over the middle for a 17-yard gain off the stick RPO. Show it to you again. Our quarterback was a little slow on this. They're coming right. Oh, they're coming right now. Okay, here we go. They're coming right now. If you can see from the tight copy, he pulls and then executes the pass. Send him in motion. They don't bump. What he should be doing is throwing the bubble, and he has to stick. He hands the ball off. We do get a 4-yard gain. But as you can see here, they don't bump and they blitz off the edge. And he should be throwing it right behind him if he didn't want to try to bubble. We do get a 4-yard gain on the play. Show you the end zone copy. This to show you how open it looks from this point of view. As you can see the receiver right there. Quarterback decided to hand the ball off. All right, so later on we kept running this play all this game. Because of that one high look we kept getting, we send him in motion. Here comes the blitz. This time he throws it. 17-yard gain. Getting blitz. Here's the guy wide open, 17-yard gain. End zone copy. So you can see how wide open again the spacing is. We bump, so he blitzes off the edge. So they got two C-gap defenders. A quarterback does get hit, but we're able to get a 17-yard gain on the play. Call the same play. They keep blitzing off the edge. Quarterback handed it off. We got a 1-yard gain. Show you the end zone copy of this. He steps out, so he should hand the ball off, and they get us from behind. They played well, good defense on that one. As you can see, we ran this a lot that game. This time he takes number 2, we pull up, we hit a 25-yard completion that goes into the end zone. Their answer to our RPO, as you see, was to send 2 guys off of the edge. Anytime we went in motion, they wanted to send 2 guys off of the edge. All right, here we go, guys. We're playing number 1 team in the state for homecoming this game. They're in the stack. One of our best players to run against one high. We send him in motion, and we hand the ball off, and we get a 7-yard gain. We're looking to see at the stack what this guy does, and then we're going to read this backer. He pumps outside. He got back, so it was 5-on-5. And then we hand it off for a 7-yard gain, which will take 7 yards to run play. I'm sure you will too. He takes 1 step, tries to hesitate, come back in. Doesn't matter, we still get a 7-yard gain. All right, guys, that's it. I want you guys to thank you and taking your time to watch these game-tested RPOs. Hopefully you saw something that you can use that will help your team be successful and don't have to reinvent the wheel. Here are some RPOs that we've used in games that work. You saw different variation, different defenses, different fronts, or ways to put it in there and help your quarterback be correct, help him be right, and help you get more explosive plays. Explosive plays lead to touchdowns. Thank you again. Game Tested RPOs. I'm Terrance Banks.